Hello students, this is our next session in the numerical part of chapter atoms. So today I am going to continue once again some few numericals of this chapter, and we shall start it. The question number 9, calculate radius of the third Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom and the energy of an electron in that orbit. Question is very simple. Calculate radius of the third Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom and the energy of electron in that orbit. It means for the third orbit of hydrogen atom, what should be the radius of that atom corresponding to the orbit number 3, and even in that orbit what should be the energy associated with the electron. Very simple question. For this question they are giving some of the mathematical data here. We shall see what is the given data. So just I am going to highlight on the board. So if possible you go through that and you try to copy the question. So question number 9. So we are discussing numerical problems on atoms. Fine. See, calculate radius of the third orbit, radius of third Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom and the energy of an electron in that orbit. Question very simple. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಬೋರ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಬಿಟಿಂದು ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು? ಫಾರ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಸಮ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಹಿಯರ್. So what is that data means? And the energy of an electron in that orbit. So which orbit? That orbit means third orbit. So therefore solution n is equal to 3 in third orbit, therefore small n should be 3. Z is equal to 1 because hydrogen atom, and Planck constant they have given 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. For this they have given charge of the electron 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Next they have given about charge of the electron, and even they have given about epsilon naught also, 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 per Newton meter square. Epsilon naught is per Newton per meter square coulomb square. and we need to find what is R3, so radius of third orbit, and also energy in the third orbit, that is E3. Very simple. How to find this? You have a direct formulas here. So what is that? Radius of the nth stationary orbit, Rn is equal to n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. So n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z e square. Since z equal to 1, n is 3, R3 is equal to 3 square h square 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 12 whole square into epsilon naught value. What is the epsilon naught value? 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 whole divided by 3.14 pi value, m value 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. Here also you take m value 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg, mass of the electron, into z 1, charge of the electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 whole square. First you simplify the powers of that equation, that powers of the substituted values in that equation. If you simplify that, you are going to get the final answer, and I am going to write the final answer here. You try to do that calculation with the help of calculator. So I am going to represent the final answer here. The final answer R3 will be, so you are going to get 4.78 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter. R3 you are getting is 4.78 into 10 power minus 10 meter. So this is the radius of the third Bohr orbit of hydrogen atom. So even you can also try this one in alternative way. What is that alternative way? We know that for hydrogen atom, the radius R is equal to n square times of 5.29 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter. Yes or no? So even you can also just, if you take 9 here, if you multiply, then you are going to get the same answer. We can also do with the help of that one also, R equal to n square into 5.29 into 10 raised to minus 11. So that is nothing but 0.529 angstrom, you can get it. That is for first orbital, for first orbit. So in place of n, if you replace by 3 square, 9 into this quantity, you will get this value 4.78. This is an alternative method, and this is the by taking the help of this formula. But why we can't do that simply R square equal to n square into that 0.529 into 10 raised to minus 5.29 into 10 raised to minus 11. Why we can't? Because he had clearly mentioned the data here. In this problem, data is mentioned, so we have to use all that datas. So if you want to use all the datas, means definitely you have to apply the formula only. We can also solve this in alternative way also, but though also for the given data, the formula will be, or this particular derived equation is suitable for substitution. Next, this problem is not completed yet, so we need to find what? Energy. For this energy of the electron in an nth orbit, generally for hydrogen atom we know that energy in the third orbit is minus 13.6 electron volt divided by n square. We can make use of this equation here. We can make use of this equation. So therefore, En, that is E3, becomes what? Minus 13.6 by n square, n is 3. Already we have used all these data for finding r. So energy, we can also solve like this also, that general equation En equal to minus 13.6 by n square minus 13.6 by 3 square. So minus 13.6 by 9. So this is found out to be minus 1.5 electron volt. Minus 1.5 electron volt. That is energy in the third orbit. E3 is equal to minus 1.5 electron volt. You just go through your calculators and you simplify and you check whether the answer is correct or not. Next problem. See, next problem also very simple one. The ground state energy of hydrogen is minus 13.6 electron volt. Yeah, it is commonly known for us. Ground state energy of the hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 electron volt. Then calculate first one, what are the potential and kinetic energy of the electron in third excited state. What are the kinetic and potential energy of the electron in third excited state. So this is very important. In third excited state they are asking you. And even if the electron, second one, if electron jumps to the ground state from the third excited state, calculate the frequency of the photon emitted. For hydrogen atom, ground state energy is minus 13.6 electron volt. If this is the condition, what they are asking you? They are asking you to find the potential and kinetic energy of the electron in the third excited state. And afterwards, they are telling you, suppose if electron comes back from that third excited state to ground state, then we know that when an electron jumps from higher energy state to lower energy state, it emits a radiation. And this radiation corresponding to some particular frequency. And what is the frequency that we have to find? So very simple question. So ground state energy of the hydrogen is minus 13.6 electron volt. Ground state energy they have given. So generally for hydrogen atom, so this is the next problem, that is the ground state energy of the hydrogen. Better you take the ground state energy of the hydrogen is ground state energy, even I can call minus 13.6 electron volt. What are the potential and kinetic energy? Question number 1. What are kinetic energy and potential energy of the electron in third excited state. What is the meaning of third excited state? This is the question. First, one by one we shall solve. Okay, fine. What are the kinetic and potential energy of the electron. One by one we shall solve. See, first excited state means, say n is equal to 1, say n is equal to 2, say n is equal to 3, say n is equal to 4. When electron makes a transition from first orbit to the second, we say that it is first excitation. When we say first excitation, when electron jumps from first to 2, this is called first excitation. If it jumps from first to 3, second excitation, second excited state. If it jumps from first to 4, then it is called as third excitation. So now tell me, what are the kinetic and potential energy of the electron in third excited state? So third excited state means generally transition from even energy state to E4 energy state. Yes or no? Because fourth orbit corresponds to energy E4 and third excited state means transition from 1 to 4. So therefore, the kinetic energy and potential energy of the electron in third excited state we have to find. For this, first we have to find what is the total energy in the fourth orbit. Later on, we shall find the kinetic and potential energy of that electron in the fourth orbit. So that gives you the energy, kinetic and potential energy in the third excited state. Very simple question. Is it clear? So therefore, third excited state means this one. This is the third excited state corresponding to 1 to 4. Now, what is the kinetic energy and potential energy in fourth orbit? So very simple that already we know that. So therefore, solution, the energy of the electron in nth orbit of hydrogen atom is found to be minus 13.6 electron volt divided by n square. This implies for E4, even is given, but what is E4? Minus 13.6 divided by 4 square minus 13.6 by 16. This is found out to be minus 0.85, minus 0.85 electron volt. This is energy in the fourth orbit, I mean energy corresponding to the third excitation of electron in hydrogen atom. Okay, fine. I got the energy of the electron in fourth orbit. Later on, they are not asking about energy, they are asking about kinetic energy and potential energy. See, if you take the expression for kinetic energy of the electron, we know that kinetic energy K is equal to 1 by 2 times of, that is ZE square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Have you remembered this equation? If you take the expression for kinetic energy of the electron in case of hydrogen atom revolving in an orbit of radius R, we have 1 by 2 into ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught R, kinetic energy, revolving, and positive value because it is revolving. So potential energy, you know, U is equal to minus ZE square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R. 4 pi epsilon naught R. So if you take in general, this becomes kinetic energy becomes ZE square by 8 pi epsilon naught R. This is minus ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught R. If you divide equation kinetic energy by potential energy, if you divide the equation kinetic energy by potential energy, so dividing kinetic energy by potential energy, what happens? This is ZE square by 8 pi epsilon naught R upon this minus sign. So in general I will write minus. So this becomes what? 4 pi epsilon naught R divided by ZE square, R, 4 pi epsilon naught, here that is 4 pi epsilon naught 2 ja 8 pi epsilon naught. Therefore, kinetic energy by potential energy is equal to minus half. This implies what? 2 times of kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. So therefore, 2 times of kinetic energy is equal to what? Potential energy, that too with negative sign. Okay, so now what is kinetic energy? The kinetic energy is nothing but equal to the what? Kinetic energy, if I take, that will be equal to, and even what is total energy? We know that total energy is minus Z square by 8 pi epsilon naught R. So therefore it is same as kinetic energy only. This expression is same as kinetic energy only. Therefore kinetic energy is equal to magnitude of total energy E. What is the total energy corresponding to the fourth? K4 ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ. You take it as K4. Kinetic energy in the fourth must be equal to magnitude of this total energy. That is magnitude of minus 0.85 electron volt. This becomes what? Kinetic energy in the fourth orbit becomes 0.85 electron volt. This is the answer. Next. What is the potential energy? Potential energy of the electron in third excited state that is potential energy is equal to, just now only we found kinetic by potential is equal to minus half. Therefore potential becomes what? Minus 2 times of kinetic energy. So therefore minus 2 times of kinetic energy. Minus 2 times of kinetic energy. Minus 2 into what is kinetic energy? 0.85 electron volt. So therefore if you multiply 0.85 by 2, you will find out that minus 1.7 electron volt. Minus 1.7 electron volt. This is potential energy, this is kinetic energy. It is positive since electron is revolving. It is negative because it lost its potential energy and it gains the kinetic energy. Law of conservation of energy is true. Next. So, this is first part of the problem. So, next part of the problem. If electron jumps to ground state, say n is equal to 4 and n is equal to 1. 1 to 4 is third excitation. Suppose if electron jumps from that third excitation to ground state, say from E4 to E1, yes or no? Because energy of this is E1, energy of the excited state is E4. Suppose if electron jumps from excited state to the ground state, then what is the frequency of the radiation emitted? Under this condition, it emits a radiation having the frequency nu. What is that frequency? That we have to find. So it means second part of the question, find, that is, if electron jumps from third excited state to the ground state, then calculate frequency of the photon emitted. Frequency of the photon emitted. Don't forget about photon. I discussed in dual nature of matter and radiation. Photon is nothing but the what? A packet of energy. So how to find it? We know that from Bohr's postulate, E4 minus E1 is equal to what? H nu. Yes or no? E4, energy of the fourth orbit. Just now only we found minus 1.5 electron volt. Yes or no? Energy of the fourth orbit is minus 0.85 electron volt. Ground state energy is minus 13.6 electron volt. Divided by H, if I do, you will get the frequency. So what is that? Nu is equal to, therefore this implies nu is equal to E4 minus E1 upon H. What is H? Planck's constant. What is E4? Minus 0.85 electron volt minus E1 minus 13.6. I have written already there. So minus of minus 13 point become plus 13.6 upon Planck constant 6.625, 6.624 into 10 raised to minus 34. So if you solve this, in a numerator it become positive, divided by 6.2, that whatever the value you will get divided by 6.624 into 10 power minus 34, you will get the answer is 3.07 into 10 raised to 15 hertz. You will get frequency will be 3.077 into 10 raised to 15 hertz. You will get answer 3.077 into 10 raised to 15 hertz. It is the frequency of the radiation emitted when electron jumps from third excited state to ground state. Go through this. Next, I am going to erase it. Once if you gone through this video lecture means, just you can able to solve by your own only. Next, the first member of Balmer series, the first member of Balmer series, the first member of Balmer series of hydrogen spectrum of hydrogen has a wavelength 6563 angstrom. Compute the full stop and compute the wavelength of second member. Compute the wavelength of the second member of which series? The same Balmer series only of the second member. This is the question. Wavelength of the first member of Balmer series given as 6563 angstrom. What is Balmer series? When electron jumps from higher orbit to the second orbit, we call it as a nothing but the what? A Balmer series. We can able to observe the what? A spectral series in the visible region. We called it as a Balmer series. And which is the first member of Balmer series? Transition from 3 to 2 is the first member. That is H alpha we call. And if this is the condition, they are telling that hydrogen spectrum has a wavelength 6563. For first member wavelength is this much 6563 angstrom. Then calculate the wavelength of the second member. What is the wavelength of second member they are telling? Which is the second member? 2, that is 3 to 2 is first member, 4 to 2 is nothing but the second member of Balmer series. So therefore, solution. Look here. The solution of this is, for first member, for first line, N1 should be 2, N2 should be 3. Therefore, 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. You try yourself. 1 by lambda R into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 3 square. This is R into 1 by 4 minus 1 by 9. This is all 1 by lambda. Therefore, 1 by lambda is equal to 4 and 9. LCM is 36. 9 minus 4, 5R by 36. Call this equation number as 1. And remember, this is the wavelength of first line, that is first member of Balmer series, and that wavelength is given. This wavelength is given. Later on I will substitute here. Before that you call this as equation number 1. Then next, what we need to find here? Wavelength of the second member. So which is the second member? What is the condition for second member? See, for second line, these type of problems are important. So many time I told you in examination, very simple to solve these type of numerical. If they ask for 5 marks, they are asking these numerical for 5 marks. For second member, N1 is equal to 2 and N2 is equal to 4. N2 is equal to 4. Even we also call specifically, more specifically, as H beta spectral line. Therefore, 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. 1 by lambda is equal to R into 1 divided by N1 square, 2 square minus 1 by 4 square. So therefore, this becomes what? R into 1 by 4 minus 1 by 16. What is the LCM of 4 and 16? That is 16. 1 by lambda is equal to R into, that is 4 minus 1, 3R by 16. 3R by 16. Call this as 2. I call this as lambda dash. Dividing equation 1 by 2. Then if I divide equation 1 by 2, what happens? If I divide equation 1 by 2, 1 by lambda is equal to 5R by 36. This is equation 1. If I divide this upon 1 by lambda dash, if I divide this upon 3R by 16, that becomes 16 by 3R here. RR get cancelled. This become lambda dash by lambda is equal to, so this is also 16 ones are. So that is 16, 2 8s are, you take 2 1s are, 2 8s are, then 9s are, 4s are, that becomes 5 4s are 20 divided by 27. Therefore lambda dash is equal to lambda into 20 by 27. What is lambda? 6563 angstrom. 6563 angstrom. So therefore lambda dash is equal to 6563 into 10 raised to minus 10 into this 20 by 27. 20 by 27. Is it correct or no? Because 5 4s are 20 and this is 2 18s are 36 or 18 2s are 36 and this is 2 8s are 16. So therefore 9 3s are 27 it is. 6563 into 10 raised to minus 10 into 20 by 27. You once check this one and try to find it answer. Four 4861.5. Is it clear? If you 6563 into 20 by 27, if you do lambda dash, you are getting is 4861.5 angstrom ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. So you try to solve this numerical. In the same way, if possible, you try to solve some numericals with the help of textbook. If it is available, well and good. You try to solve it, some few more numericals on this. So this is nothing but today's numerical session, and once again in our next session we shall consider few more problems and further we are going to proceed next chapter. Okay, thank you.